today we're going to show you how to make your own envelopes just using the measurements and a little bit of folding and maybe a corner punch to punch the corners. We're going to look at how to make an envelope for this card, and I don't have an envelope maker, or the envelope maker that you have may not cover the size of the card that you've chosen. Either way, there are going to be times when you will need to make a card, an envelope for a card, and you don't have an envelope maker for one reason or another. So this is how you do this. You get your card and you measure it on the diagonal. So this card measures around 19.5 centimeters. Now if you were measuring in inches, you would add 1 inch to that measurement. If you're measuring in centimeters, you add 2.5 centimeters. So if that's 19.5 centimeters, then you're going to make your square 21 centimeters. So here we go with our paper cutter again, and I'm going to cut this piece of paper 21 centimeters square. 21 that way and 21 that way. Now if your card was quite thick because you had lots of flowers and things on top of it, you might want to make your envelope a bit roomier, and you might add 3 centimeters instead of the standard 2.5, or even more, depending on how thick your card is. So now that we've got our card square, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a pencil and I'm going to run my ruler through the diagonal in both directions and a pencil line, just a light pencil line, not a heavy pencil line. Now if this was one-sided paper, you'd be doing this on the wrong side. Okay, and then I get my card and I'm going to mark the halfway mark in both directions. So if that's 15.5, that'll be 7 3/4 there, and 7 3/4 there. And if this is 11.5, this will be 5 3/4 there. Not too harsh because you've got to rub this out later, and 5 3/4 there. Now you need to put this on here so that those marks line up with these lines. And if you get those marks to line up with these lines, you will have your card sitting dead center of your paper. So that mark lines up with that line, that mark lines up there, that mark lines up there, that mark lines up there. Once they are all in the right spot, you can then one side at a time fold your paper. Keep your card in the right position, don't let it move, and just fold your paper on all 4 sides. Don't make that fold extra tight because you want the card to fit in. There. Now that you've done that, you can take your card out and you just give all those fold lines a really good score. Now, if you've got a corner rounder, you would use a corner rounder. I haven't brought my corner rounder in, so I'm actually going to use my envelope maker, the back section, to do the corners, around all the corners on this envelope. If you've got a decorative corner rounder, well, you might put a decorative corner on at least one of those corners, the one that sits on top. Now also, if you have a look here, you can see here, see where those fold lines cross and there's a little fold line out there? You're actually going to cut out from the fold line, but to the point of where they cross. So you don't go past that point. But when you cut this off, there's no fold left. And you do that on all four sides. Not too much bigger, but just a little bit out from the fold line so that there's no fold line left in there, in that little section. Okay, now that you've done all of those, one of these you need to rub out that line, that pencil line that you drew, so you can't see it when you open your card. Now what you would do is fold these over, fold that over, and there's your card ready to go. Now, so what I would do is just put glue or tape up that edge either side there. And I'm not going to put it all the way up. I only need to put it to about where that is now. Actually less than where that is now. That's up too far. If I fold that over there, I only need to go to about there. So I just rub this excess off. You don't want it to stick on the inside of your card. It's not sticky anymore. And then you glue that down. Okay, there's your card already done. This folds over the top. Oh, there's your envelope, I should say, and your card should just fit in neatly inside. Look at that. And that's got a little raised section, so it's good that we've got a little bit more room in there. And that's how you do your cards if you haven't got an envelope maker, or it's the wrong size for an envelope maker. Quite an easy thing to do.